Hello, I have been asked how I made my canvas cute. So let's go over and kind of show it. All of my pages have a little banner on top. So including like, let's say I want to go to my About Class page. Some of this stuff I'm still in the process of editing, but uh, I've been asked, how'd you make that little banner on top? You know, did you just create an image or how did that happen? Hold on. And that's a little slow, so bear with me. So here I have another emoji of me. Also, how do you change the font? I thought you couldn't change the font. And how did you create these little tabs on top? All these kinds of questions I'm going to go over in this little video. Now, the first thing, hold on, let me show you my portfolio page. Like I said, it's going to really look like a work in progress because still have a lot to do. But the first thing, I thought that was funny. In here, coming soon. So much to do. The first thing that I did is I found a color scheme online. So if you just Google color palette, I looked through like 10 or 15 color palettes to choose what I wanted. And I ended up finding this one here. Okay. Now let me just start over again. As you see, I have a lot of little buttons and things. I did everything with that color palette. Okay, so what I did is first, actually, I guess what I should do is let me insert it. The first thing I did also was after finding the color palette, I had to find the fonts that I want. So I would type like physics, and then I would change that to a ton of different fonts. And I literally went down the entire screen and trying almost every single one. So as you can see down here, I have all the different fonts that I attempted, as well as some of the other color palettes. So I eventually ended up figuring out I kind of like this font. I used that in a couple of places. I kind of liked, I think it was this font for cursive. And I'm not sure what the other font I used was. You'll figure it out yourself, okay? So once I ended up figuring that out, let's say I like this Cooper Black here. What I did is I put that in with my little color scheme here. And what I did is I copied this and I ended up changing every letter to match color scheme with this little eyedropper. Now, I ended up getting this from somebody on the internet. It's not, I think I just Googled how to make Canvas cute, and that's how I ended up coming with this. Kyle, I'm making a video. Dang it.
I thought you were talking to someone.
Oh, you're still in the video, Kyle. Anyways, once you end up getting all of your letters, the color that you wanted, see, mine ended up actually storing my colors after a while. I just kind of like dragged this so that the black font looked like a shadow. And if you want to move it really precisely, just hold the control button and use the arrow keys. So another thing I did is I had all my little Bitmojis. So you see here I am on my little lounge chair. So to do that, you have to make a Bitmoji. And I have the Chrome extension, so I can actually search through all of my different Bitmojis once I make it. So let's say I really like this one where I look like a lemon. I would copy paste that in here. Now, sometimes there's like words that you kind of want to get rid of. For that, what I would do is I would just insert things that were white to kind of block off stuff. So let's say I don't like that arm showing or something. I would make this white, including the outline. And then I would group both of these together so that this is now one image. maybe I want to send that to the back so it's behind physics, that kind of thing. Obviously, this is not a great example of that, but if you are curious about removing text, that's how I did it. So the next thing I did is I got something kind of perfect, exactly how I wanted, and I screenshotted that. What I did is I made it big here so it would take up the whole screen and look kind of pretty. And then you can screenshot with the snipping tool or with Windows Shift S. All right, so that's now copied, and you can paste that into your canvas, or you could also put that into a Paint, Microsoft Paint, if you want to save it as its own image, or just use the snipping tool. So that's how I made all of my little images. Let's go back to the canvas now. That's how I made these. To make, let me go back to my home. This up top, this little bar, you can do that yourself. That's just a table. Anytime you make a table, anything inside, you can just make as a link. You can also put little pictures in there. Let's talk a little bit about, these are all images. And then from here, I linked them out. So let's talk a little bit about how to change the fonts. So it says in Rich Text Editor that you cannot change the font. That was a conscious decision for Canvas because they didn't want to overwhelm teachers. But you actually can change it. You do that through the HTML editor here. Okay. So anytime you type something, it'll have this like P style, text align left, blah, 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 blah. But it does not include anywhere in your HTML what your font is. So here is something that I typed myself. So I aligned it left. I wanted it bold. And then here's what I had to insert. I found this on Google, which was this span style font family. And I found that basically any Microsoft font, actually you can also do Helvetica, which is I think that's like an Apple font. You just put that in here and it'll change the font to whatever you want. So if you make everything as an image, like you might be tempted to just copy and paste everything as an image and put it in that way. But if you do that, it'll size really weird when kids look at it on their phones. For my home page, the buttons kind of size kind of weird. But that's how I basically organize this. Is it perfect? No. In fact, this little thing on the top I'm considering even getting rid of because it looks weird on the phone layout. But that's how I did what I did. Good luck.